Welcome back, everyone. Now, New South Wales residents are set to feel a little less heat over their power bills thanks to price cuts by the Australian Energy Regulator.
In a historic move, price cuts of up to $313 came into effect across the state. So here with the details is campaign director from One Big Switch, Joel Gibson. Joel, good to see you. Now, this is great news. How did this come about? How can households save?
Well, every 5 years, the national regulator makes a decision about how much electricity networks can charge to get the power from the generator to your house. And they've just made that decision for the next 5 years in New South Wales. And it's great news for New South Wales households because, you know, when was the last time your power bill went down? But as of yesterday, you should get, in New South Wales, if the retailers do the right thing, an average of $106 up to $313 price cut over the next year on your retail bill.
OK, so before we get too excited about this, a spanner has been thrown in the works. So what happened?
So the electricity networks have the right to challenge this decision in court, and they're doing that. That started yesterday. That challenge could take some months. There's also another challenge, frankly, saying that they should be able to drop bills by more. So there were two competing challenges in court at the moment, and we'll find out the result of that in a few months' time. But in the meantime, the cuts have come in yesterday, and we're hoping retailers will do the right thing and pass them on. And we just gave a petition, for example, yesterday to the Energy Minister and the Shadow Energy Minister saying households really want this power bill price cut. They're crying out for it, and they want their politicians to do everything in their power to make sure it happens.
So they're kind of like the banks with interest rates. It's up to them whether or not they pass on those cuts.
It's a free market. So, you know, if it's a competitive market and one passes on the cuts, we hope that the others will have to do the same thing. But what we're doing is we're running a campaign to put pressure on them to make sure they do the right thing. And you know, if your retailer doesn't do the right thing, then we would say, frankly, think about switching.
Well, let's say these changes do go through. Can you talk us through the savings?
Sure. So what happens is, in New South Wales, this decision is a final determination. It's being challenged in court. But in the other states, the decisions are still drafts, and they will follow what happens in New South Wales. So at the moment, the draft for Queensland, unfortunately, is much lower. It's $132 over 5 years of a saving. In South Australia, it's $197 in the next year. In Tassie, it's a lot smaller, $24 in the next year. And Victoria, we're yet to find out. So all those other states will depend upon what happens in New South Wales and the outcome of this court process.
So how do people get the ball rolling on this and get their savings into their pocket?
So the important thing is that consumers let everyone involved in this process know, the governments, the retailers, the networks, you've got to let them know that you care, OK? We really want this power bill price cut. Bills have doubled over 5 to 7 years, and people are desperate for some relief. So come join our campaign. Come to onebigswitch.com, send them a message by joining up to this campaign and signing our petition, and we'll use the buying power of that group to unlock a group discounted offer also. So if your retailer doesn't do the right thing, frankly, there'll be someone to switch to.
Absolutely.
Joel,
thank you, Joel.
Great advice, mate.
Good
Cheers.
work.